Hello party people. I had a lot of fun making my first video. I watched it with my friend Maggie, who said that she loved it. She was shocked at how I was literally able to turn myself into a 90-year-old woman. But yeah, I had so much fun making it, so here I am for round 2. So again, in the last little video, I was talking about how my friends are sick and tired of hearing me talk about certain things. So here, I'm going to get it all out now to you guys before I go on this day trip with them. So I kind of roped them into doing this thing that I really wanted to do, so we're going to go to Kenosha, which is a tiny little town in Wisconsin. I think it's like an hour and a half from Chicago, and it's where my mother went to college. I draw a lot of inspiration from my mom in her college days. She was always wearing typical 80s, really cool jeans. She would always wear gold and silver, big belts. She had the big shoulder pads, she had big hair. She always had a beer in her hand. She's always at a dive bar. So obviously that shaped me. And yeah, I think that her college campus, she went to Carthage, and it was so cool from the pictures. She did all this, she took sailing as a course there, and she just got to do all this cool stuff because her campus was literally on the water. So there were all these old, really cool places, and I think I was driving with my parents through Door County, and we stopped there, and she's like, Alexa, I want to take you to this grocery store. It's like an Italian grocery store, and also Ron's place was her favorite bar that she would go to with her friends. And so we went to those two places, and I was like, oh my gosh, I really wish that I could spend more time here because this town is awesome. I love these two places. But we had to get going, so I only got to go to those two. And I've been meaning to go back ever since. So yeah, stay tuned. I'm gonna vlog it. I'm gonna show you guys what we do, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Hello! It's me post Kenosha, and let me tell you, I had a really good time there. I went with my friends in the morning, and we just hopped in the car, and I made some breakfast. I'm really into waffles these days, so I made some eggs, some coffee, some waffles to fuel us for our trip, and then I drove us down. Drive was great. We listened to some music, just kind of jammed, and I made a list of the day. My friends think it's funny whenever I make lists because I'm someone who really should make lists, but they never make any sense. But I'm trying to improve myself and get better, so this is me making a list, and I wrote down the names of all the places we went so I didn't forget them. First place we went was a Vintage Underground. This place was so cute, and there was lots to see. There was a lot of vintage print, which I'll show you. I got 2 little print things, and then I also got this for $10. $10 for this. There was so much clothing, and she was working on setting up a dressing room, which if I had a dressing room I probably would have bought more. But again, I love this. As I said in my last video, really into sets. I love that it's so thick and long. And if I had more time, money, and resources, I would crop this down like that, or I'd keep it and crop this like this. Cause yeah, I said I like to wear these really old things with a modern twist, so for now my modern twist just has to be these glasses. Woo-hoo! Yeah, super modern. But yeah, I got that, and then let me show you my print stuff. This Jocelyn found for me, which was so sweet because something about me is I have an interesting, I don't want to say fixation, but I really like old board games. I grew up playing chess and backgammon religiously in my family, and I introduced the game. My friends are hesitant to learn chess. Jocelyn is just now starting to try after being friends with me for like a decade, which is kind of her. I appreciate. But all my friends have learned backgammon because it's a little bit easier. And Jocelyn actually got a backgammon board while we were there. But this is just a little pocket library chess book. $2. And maybe I'll read a little bit, but let's be real. I'm just like putting this on a table next to my chessboard. Some people will be like, oh, do you actually play? And I'll be like, yes, I do actually play. And I'd like to play you. So yeah, I'm really happy. That was like a big score for me. Next, something about me and my friends when I lived in Wicker Park. I feel like with your friends, you know, sometimes you like run out of things to talk about, or like, you know, you're just not in the mood to be like talking about your life or like people or work. So I like try to really think of things that are like not that at all when I've exhausted those topics. And one of those things for me was Mad Libs. I loved Mad Libs as a kid, and I had a ton of extra sets. So my friends and I would go to the park, we'd open a bottle of wine, and we'd play Mad Libs. And when I tell you, like, tears would come to my eyes all the time. Like, Mad Libs is so goofy and fun. And so I saw this is literally Mad Libs from the 80s. It said on there somewhere. Okay, so it's vintage unused Mad Libs from the 80s. And I should make a video of me like doing this. I feel like it's already funnier. Like I feel like now the Mad Libs are way more like PG. But like this is, let's see, a funny one. I don't know, the blank wedding yesterday afternoon between blank adjective blank name of woman and our groom blank name of man was carried off. I don't know, I just feel like it's like gonna be crazy. So that's gonna be really fun to do later in time. So I'm so thankful for that. And we also went to Serendipity, which was the cutest little place. They had lots of fun stuff, lots of coats that I wanted. I didn't get anything here, but Jocelyn got like 3 separate necklaces, like made in Italy, really cute silver gold like chain. One had a little thing on the bottom. So she scored big there, and literally like she put it on. Oh, and she got a watch at the other place, so she was really into the jewelry vibe. But she wore her necklace, and at the next place we went, someone was literally like, that necklace is gorgeous. She's like, thanks, I just got it 20 minutes ago. So that was kind of funny. Next, after the vintage and thrifting, we're like, wow, we're hungry. We need to get something to eat to sustain us. And so we were eating at like 2 o'clock, which was such a bad time to be eating because there were like so many places I wanted to go. But at 2 p.m., like every place was closed because it was like they had lunch and then they closed for 2 hours and they opened again at 4 for dinner. So you're like, okay, because I had a list of places I want to go. So we kind of had to pivot. Jocelyn was very keen on going to the Buzz Cafe, which it was a shame. Maggie and I are both kind of like picky about the places we like to go. Like we both like to pick. And we're usually very in tune. So poor Jocelyn like 3 times was like, what about the Buzz Cafe? What about the Buzz Cafe? And we were kind of just like ignoring her. And then finally she was like, guys, please, just please take a look at the Buzz Cafe. And we looked and we were like, oh, we can totally go here. Like this is so cute. So we swallowed our pride and we apologized to Jocelyn for not taking her more seriously, and we went to the Buzz Cafe. And Maggie got a tea, which was just, you know, what we needed. We had these like chill vibes. And then I got a salmon sandwich and pasta salad, which was so good. with bellies full, we decided, that's when Maggie stepped in, and she was like, I would like to go to the museum. And so, you know, me, I'm much more of like food, drink, vintage shop girl. But I was like, oh, I suppose we can go to a museum. I haven't been to one in years, so I should probably like, you know, do my due diligence and try to like learn something new. And that I did. I went in there. Gosh, you guys, the things that were in there are things that I had never seen. Like, you think you know about animals. I see a fair share of animals. I was seeing so many animals I had never seen before, and neither had they. Like, like this hogwart, I had never seen. I thought I had seen a hogwart. I hadn't. A lot of animals, I like misjudged their size. Like, I would think, what's one? Oh gosh, I'm blanking. But yeah, there were a lot of animals, things like muskrats and other things that I thought would be like small, and then they were big. Just so many animals I hadn't seen, and so many like really cool shells. We learned, this is one thing we read. This is something I learned. I didn't read it, but Maggie read it, and then she told me that I would like this, which I did. People, friends, neighbors, communities used to have like a cabinet drawer of all these things that they found and collected. So it'd be like shells, animals, taxidermy stuff, rocks, you know, things of that nature that kind of come from the earth. They would collect them and keep them in a cabinet. And then when their cabinets got big enough, all the friends would come together and make like a mini museum. Like, it'd be like their shared museum, like this collection of their lives that they'd like share that people could publicly see. So I thought that was so cool. I'm like, wow, that's so much fun. So yeah, it was great to see something new. And then when we went upstairs, I saw another thing that caught my eye. I saw a lighthouse. I looked out the window because there was a beautiful view of the water. Again, this museum was literally on Lake Michigan. Well, I mean, you can see it's like a little off in the distance, but off in the distance I saw a lighthouse, and I said, next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna explore that lighthouse. I was a bit ambitious in that, I will admit, because I don't know what the weather was. I'm not a good gauge of the weather. I never like look at the weather. I try to say like it doesn't affect me, like I'm gonna wear a coat and something cute, but this affected all of us greatly, and my friends were troopers for sticking along with the idea, because I was like, oh, I'll take like a little walk, like it'll be so easy, it'll be so fun, we'll like get a few pictures, like, and they're like, oh yeah, okay, trying to be like good sports about it, which they were. But we went out there, and like I could just feel my hands getting like so red, and then also just thinking about like the gravity of Lake Michigan, the waves crashing. There was like ice everywhere. I was like, gosh, if I slipped this, it was just like, wow, this lake feels like something like, feels like an ocean. Like, I can't believe this is a lake. The water is just so big and vast. So we like hung out there for, I don't know, 3 minutes, and then we're like, okay, let's book it out of there. And then after that, we're circling back to Ron's, which earlier I said this was my mom's favorite bar in college. She told me she'd always get either like a Long Island or like a big thing of beer. So when we walked in here, I wanted to follow in her footsteps, and I got this huge thing of beer. And I just loved, what's that called, a coaster? The coaster was so cute. Like, I don't know, the whole experience was so fun. I like see why my mom loved it. There were these big booths, which made a small place feel very like private. We were just yapping away and chatting, which I love doing. So Ron's was a big success. I see why my mom liked it. I was trying to channel her and her 20-year-old, which I think I did. And then, arguably the biggest score of the day, Tenutas. My dad always, like, every time he passes here, he just like blows $300, and my friends were like laughing at that, but then when they went inside, they were like, oh my gosh, I can see why anyone could just like stock up here. Like, it is like, they import things. A lot of it is like cool imported stuff from Italy, obviously, but then they also had stuff from like Sweden and like other cool places that I didn't know about. So we had to like drag Maggie out of there. Jocelyn and I actually went in the car and waited for like 20 minutes, and Maggie's like, I'm going as quick as I can, like, please, just, I'm trying, 1 second. And I think she ended up spending like $150. But Maggie's really big on things like capers, olives, sardines. So she was stocking up. Jocelyn got some provolone cheese and a cannoli. They had 2-for-1 bottles of wine, so I got a nice little, I got 2 bottles of Pinot Noir. Maggie got her favorite wine is a Viognier, and every time she sees it, she buys it, so that was part of her big purchase. But yeah, we like loaded up on stuff, and it was the best. And you know what? We just spent a day there. I already want to go back. Kenosha, 10 out of 10. I was able to just drive and whip around, and there was still so much more to see. I had a huge itinerary list, and we only got to that, you know, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 places. So maybe I'm gonna make my sister go back. Taylor, if you actually watch this video, I would love to go here with you, because I think we could do damage in this town. But yeah, it was just a really fun Saturday, a fun day trip, and now I'm going to spend the rest of my day cleaning the house, getting groceries, renewing my passport, you know, things that you like do on Sundays. So yeah, Kenosha, 10 out of 10. And you guys, I will see you all soon. As always, thanks for watching. And thanks for being so cool.